Victoria Park was only, or Victoria Place was only supposed to build at 5 acres. Other developers have the requirement to give the money to the city to finish out the 10 acres, but we don't have that money yet.
And we have not spent the money that has been collected on anything else, right? Can we clarify that?
Not that I know of at this point, but again, we will take a look to double check some of these comments that have been brought up.
Okay, I'll give you Marisa.
Thank you, Marisa Delgado, 1000 Sept Moreno here in Calexico. Thank you very much, Council. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here tonight. Obviously, this is a really, really important subject for our city. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but Luis, when I met you, the first thing you told me was you were all about parks. And right now, in observing what's happening, what's being said, the two different opposing opinions, it seems as if a lot of responsibility is being placed on us, the citizens, to try to work this out. I have maybe one huge suggestion that might be a good idea.
It's not a perception. That's what we're trying to look at creative ways to develop our green areas because the city can't do it.
Well,
so we need to partner with people in the community that are willing to say, hey, I've got a shovel, I'll dig the hole for the tree. And you know what, we'll provide the tree, but we don't have the manpower, so how can we work together? So it's not, you're not perceiving that wrong. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
I want to suggest possibly a parks commission to be initiated in the city, because obviously, I mean, you guys know I've been fighting for a park where I live for the last 6 months, and the developer completely bailed out. We're in a really bad situation where I live. My kids play softball. I know. My kids play softball on the street. They put, we have lots of little softball girls that live on my street in our area, where we are being a huge CFD, and we end up seeing our kids play on the street. So obviously, we have a huge, huge problem here. Today I had a conversation with some of the softball managers from other leagues and groups, and it is not easy to deal with the little bit of resources that we do have. It is probably dividing us. We are actually really good friends. Everyone who manages all of these different groups, we're really good friends. And that's actually the point of dividing us. It's dividing the citizens as well. And it has a lot to do with these developers that came to the city. I know everybody here takes a look at the other cities, Imperial, El Centro, Raleigh. They have parks. Why don't we? Why is it that we can't apply for like grants and things like that? We're 99.9% Hispanic, I believe. These little girls are trying to grow up to be like Amber Flores. Her parents are right there. And she's the person that these girls look up to. She got a college education. And it's not fair for these little girls to be so happy and so devoted to their game and nowhere to play. And why? Because we have had these developers come in, take advantage of our city, and what do we have? I have been devoting my life, last 6 months of my life, to try to have something done, and these developers have completely taken over us. Completely. And so the only suggestion, I guess, that I have is possibly creating some type of commission, because it is a huge problem. You know, Mr. Romero, you said right now your family was very involved in su tiempo. Your kids are now growing up. This is our time. This is our time. This is our kids that need this right now. And we are pleading for you to pay attention to what's going on right now.
That's what we're doing.
Well, I guess I needed to add that because I'm living proof of what's really happening here. And I get really frustrated because I don't see, like, who's heading this. We need you guys, the city council, our city government.
Marisa, that's what we're doing.
Thank you. I know everybody agrees with me, but I figured I'd say that again.
That's what we're doing.
Thank you.
Marisa. Is it relating to this point, or to the Hearthstone point, or to the kids in general? Well,
first of all, let me say, very nice hat.
Go ahead, you got 2 minutes. Mayor, go ahead. Wait, go ahead.
Regresando al punto de la renta de este terreno, desde luego la ciudad no está obteniendo ningún beneficio económico por la renta a una liga o asociación por $1 al año, a los 20 años. Lo que pasa es que se está cediendo en propiedad, aunque sea en renta, y lo que construya esta asociación sobre ese terreno es de ellos.
Let me clarify. We've disqualified the rent. The rent was just because let me clarify. The rent was an option. It's an option. It wasn't a negotiated deal.
We haven't signed
We haven't signed anything. In fact, we agreed not to do them.
Okay.
So that should alleviate some of your concerns.
Ok. Entonces no se debe pasar a propiedad privada lo que es público. Porque había esa nota en el periódico donde ustedes estaban, proponían rentar un acto simbólico, por eso lo estoy diciendo, como una proposición.
Don't believe everything you read is not true. It was an option.
Pues espero que no sea esa opción, que no sea esa opción la de rentar, porque este es un parque público, que no debe pasar a manos privadas. Hace rato, cuando recién llegamos, platiqué con el licenciado Molina, ¿sí? Porque nosotros proponíamos a que se fuera a construir, a privatizar que se fuera a construir algo sobre ella. No sé ni qué se va a construir ahí. Se van a construir galerías, baños, todo que incluye un estadio de béisbol o un estadio de fútbol. O si nada más van a poner sacatito y las niñas diciendo este es un parque de béisbol y poner las bases y correr. No existe ese plano, no existe. Ahora, lo que platicaba con el licenciado es que el parque enfrente de su casa se pasó a propiedad de una persona. Esta persona arregló el parque. No le pregunté el parque, no sé si ya se fue. Y me dijo, yo no pude usar el parque. Vino el señor este y los corrió. Ellos y un grupo de niños, de la familia y todo. No pudieron usar el parque.
What park was that?
Necesitábamos preguntarle al señor Molina. First of all,
Can you step up to the podium, please? State your name, address.
mi nombre es Hugo Rocha, Clinton, 1966.
Juan Molina, Chile 54, Paseo Reyes. First of all, this is quite a conversation we had. Came here today as a representative of the Calexico Cooperative, trying to see if somehow where we could help and assist in building this park. We're very, very interested in trying to get grants and all the help and cooperation so that we may be included and somehow get a football field out of this too. Where we have 250 kids, we have 16 cheerleaders, and basically where we practice and where we play, there's just insufficient space. That's the bottom line. The conversation I have with him is one of my concerns was that exactly. I live in 54 Paseo Reyes. We live adjacent to I believe it's the Gutierrez field. I have tried to establish and have football field, or have my kids flag football play there. And they tell me we can't. The reason we can't play there is because we have to have specific authorization from the gentleman who Gutierrez, who I do not know, has never met.
Was that told to you by city staff?
No, I have never presented that. I was told by Mr. Gentleman who was well, I don't want to mention it. But like I said, I came in today not to make a presentation or anything. I'm just concerned.
You want to join
Representative
in?
of the Calexico Public. I'm interested in getting a feel for my organization.
Just from previous experience, if you want to use any parks designated under a name or whatever, they're all public parks. If you want to use any parks, all you got to do is submit the information to the city, and they'll have a record that you have requisition of those parks.
Right. The conversation I had with him was the fact that as owners, when I live right next to it, when we did try on Saturday or Sunday to use that park,
No, I know that. Excuse me for interrupting you, but to use any park, because there's a liability issue, and I'm sure the Pop Warner program has an insurance.
yes, we do.
Okay, so one of the things that you have to do is you have to put that information with the insurance certificate covering any city property. By doing that, then you go to the city recreation, I guess, or the parks with Mr. Pending, and you inform them what parks you will be using for your practices, for your preparation of games. You inform them of that, and then once that is done, it doesn't matter, with respect to Mayor Fuentes or the city manager Reyes, once you have that permit in your hand, then nobody can chase you out of any park. Okay, so that's to protect your program.
So, Daniel Gutierrez cannot chase you out of a park even though the name is there. He's adopted it to maintain it, not to patrol it or not to decide who uses it.
Then as a concerned citizen, I'd like to